We're laughing and talking, the popcorn is popping, yeah. In my PJs.
Hey guys, welcome to In My PJs. It is our first episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us. Tonight's special guest, DeLorean Cotton. The girls are about to come over. I'm so excited. Grab your wine, grab the popcorn, get your PJs on, and come hang out with your girls for a little bit. See you in a minute.
Hey, welcome to In My PJs. I am one of your co-hosts, Keely Sharia. They like to think I'm opinionated. I like to just say that I'm passionate about what I talk about. They also think I'm this diva princess. No, I'm just a queen. So, again, welcome to In My PJs.
I'm Crystal Connor. I'm the one they call the Quiet Storm, and I also go by Freedom. So enjoy.
Hello everyone, I am Famika Louise, and these chicks like to think that I am the free spirit. I wonder what that means.
Hey guys, I am Tara, the misunderstood one. My facial expressions, I can't help myself. I love you all. Welcome to In My PJs. And can we all welcome our special guest, Mr. DeLorean Cotton. I appreciate you being here today, DeLorean. Today's topic is walking away from a toxic situation, issue, or person. And with that, we're going to start talking to DeLorean about a song that he did that kind of plays towards that whole topic. It's called I Can't Make You Love Me. And he did it with Elise King.
Elise King, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So it derived from a stage play which was actually called I Can't Make You Love Me. And basically the characters in the production, she played a female character who her boyfriend, he was the type that, strung her on for years, hadn't asked her to marry him, and he was a club promoter or whatever. And right. So, she wasn't, the average, the supermodel, and everything like that. She was a stay-at-home, she gained a little weight, and so it was one of those things where it was like, okay, I got this at home, but I'm doing everything else out in the streets with everybody else and all this other stuff. But she loved this guy, so she trying to hold on because she loved him. But at the end of the day, it's like, is everything that I'm going through worth me staying with this person and everything that he put me through? And then my character, on the other hand, it was the opposite. So I had the woman she was a businesswoman, she was a professional, and she was sleeping with her boss. And and then she came and talked to me like I was in the old kind, like I was a child, basically because.
Wait, are you talking about the play we did together? Because
it was almost like the same thing. Now here's the thing, and the same thing happened.
So wait, let me say, we were in a play together that Tara produced, and it was that situation where I was like so mean, I dogged this man out, no respect. So you were in two plays with that
same character. That's why it was so easy for me to grasp that character. I was like, oh, you know what? I did this before. You know what I'm saying? Now look, I wear pants now. Come on now. Hold up. In real life now, we're not gonna do that. But that's why I call it acting. But it was similar. But again, the song, so on my end, I had the professional woman, and she even got pregnant by the other guy, and so for me, she'd come home and bark at me. I'm at home cooking, cleaning, like, baby, I'm trying to make this thing work. I love you. I'm trying to show you that, and let us go back to the way we was. I know I'm not making all the money, and you got the big job, and you making all this money and stuff like that. But we got to do something because, baby, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And she like, whatever. Did you do this? Did you do X, Y, Z? Okay, then shut your mouth. One of those things. So, so that's where the song I Can't Make You Love Me derived from. It was actually, she stated that when Elise wrote it, she said that it was supposed to be a totally different song or whatever. And when we got to the play and she saw the characters and everything like that, she wrote this song in 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Just looking at the script and understanding where it was at. And it was just like that the song was wrote, and then it just fit. It perfectly fit our characters and in the way that we had it, in the production. So
I know when I first heard it, I called him like, that was right on time for me. I'm just saying, like, it touched the spot and somebody needed to hear it.
yeah.
Because we cannot make people love us.
But let me ask you this, like for the guy, because in his role, it was the woman that was being abusive. And so, I mean, yes, it translates into love, but a lot of times it's just a lack of respect for
Yes.
the man.
Yeah.
Yep, and I think when it comes to lack of respect, because nowadays, a lot of women are more independent. They have them higher jobs, and sometimes they get with somebody who they may feel like they're compatible with when it comes to them as a person and things like that. But they don't factor in how is this going to affect us in the long run.
Right.
I'm going to be with this guy. Am I going to be taking care of this guy the whole time?
Right.
And that's where gender roles come into play and defining, like, okay, why are we together? What is the end goal? Am I going to end up being the one, like, okay, you shower me with gifts and all this other stuff, or do I know I'm gonna have to come behind you and be like, okay, well, he took that much out of the account, I'm gonna have to do that. So are you ever going to really find, like, because a lot of women, are that chivalry thing, a lot of women feel like chivalry is dead, and sometimes, depending on the person, they feel like, the man is supposed to be, do all of this, do everything, and he's supposed to be the breadwinner. I'm supposed to just be, shower with gifts and everything like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I believe it. If and like I told, any female that I interact with or that I get serious with, or even my current girlfriend, the idea is to be able to take care of you.
Throw that
out there.
But the idea is. For me to, and I make it clear, I may not be where I want to be just yet, but the idea is for me to be able to take care of you and give you the option. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And then also, I mean, with that, you may not be where you want to be now, but your woman is supposed to be your helpmeet.
Absolutely.
So she's there to help you get there,
but
not to like be a hindrance to you or to
How
push
long?
you down.
And that's the thing. So, and there's, some people get comfortable.
Yeah.
And it always depends on the person, because you get comfortable with where you are, and then everybody's comfortable, and then we fall into this whole lackadaisy. Okay, yeah, this is the normal routine, and there's nothing. But when you have somebody that's constantly pushing you to do better, and I think that's where it different. Now, like you said, how long? That depends on the person, because and again, what type of person that you get into, and I don't care what nobody say. Like, unless they just a psychopath that just flipped the script on you one day. Like, when you're trying to get to know with somebody, you know who you're dealing with. You know if they really have drive before you actually say.
That's conversation.
Okay, you know what?
And we women,
Before you lock it down.
ignore those signs. We do see them, but we be like, well,
You do the hope. You got that hope.
It's called Build-A-Boo.
Yes,
It's
and
called
so I mean,
Build-A-Boo.
but we
We
look
trying to
past so many things.
Build-A-Boo.
So, yeah, I mean, exactly. And so, I mean, in terms of the time, like I said, you know that person. And so, like, do they really got this potential, or are they willing to live up to that potential? Because you can have all the potential in the world, but if you're not willing to live up to it, it means nothing. And so, I mean, I even had to learn that the hard way in dealing with relationships.
Yes.
I was married before, and I loved my husband. Y'all met my husband before, my ex-husband now. God bless him, he passed away. He had so much potential, and he was like that guy. Everybody loved him. I mean, when he passed away, every pastor from out of state, like there was like over 1,000 people at his funeral. But then there was also everybody from the club. He was so into like that club, like that street life, that it hindered his growth. And not only did it hinder his growth, but it hindered our growth together. Because there's so many things. Because that became more important than him doing something more important. No, because he was going to go to church. He was not going to miss church.
Okay.
He was even going to have everybody from the club go to church with him. Okay. So that was cool, and that was the part that I was attracted to. I love that part. Okay. But in terms of handling business, I mean, we got to get to the club, and he got to do this with his homeboys, and that type of thing. Like that street life, that fun, that party life, all that attention can't come before your family.
Because
And he
in the
put
day-
that before me, and I don't doubt that he loved me, because it's not always a matter of whether somebody loves you or not.
Right.
He didn't know how to love me.
What I found is that sometimes when a person does not know how to love you, it's because they don't know how to love themselves.
I was about to say,
They have
yes,
not been
that's
shown how to properly take care of someone else or display something. And a lot of us have not been taught how to handle business. We know about it, but the actual action, a lot of times fear play into place.
Baby, we was a
It's
team, so
fearful.
I would set stuff up, and all he got to do is.
But
He-
so
you know,
wait,
so
wait,
on
wait.
top
So
of that,
what about that relationship was toxic?
So because first off, we got married, y'all. Just putting myself out there. We never lived together. We never really lived together. We lived for a week after the wedding. And so I mean, to me, a week, that's like you just spent a night for a few days.
Yeah.
So how can you be my covering if you don't know what I'm doing? You like 45 minutes away.
Y'all had separate
And
houses.
Yes,
I think
we
that's,
did not live
that's
together.
where communication comes
Yes.
in, though. I think
And
that's
so,
what the dating
well, we communicated
is.
before we got married, and then we said
Right.
I do, and then he was like, "No, I don't do all that now."
So
and
he
so-
changed, so he was one of those,
Wait.
I ain't doing it no
Right,
more.
so
Did y'all had this conversation though
We
before?
literally
Right.
had it planned out where we were living for the first year. After that first year, we buying out, like we had everything planned out.
Uh-huh.
Was
And
he
so
ever
he didn't stick
hesitant
to
when
the
y'all
plan.
were talking about it and you
I was
just wanted
hesitant to get
be
married. I was hesitant to get married, and he was like, "I know you're gonna be my wife." I had even called it off, and he was
On
like,
the first
he
night.
never canceled the church. And so we literally
My
planned
ex
the
was in
wedding in
church.
3 weeks. We had like over 300 people. Like all the show was awesome, handmade invitations, all of that. But when it came to the actual marriage, like we went to church together and we looked great. But then when 9 o'clock hit and the club opened up, it was a different story. To the point that after the fact, I found out some of the women that he messed around with was at our wedding. Oh no! He
You
corrected me.
surprised?
He corrected me. He said, "No, she wasn't at the wedding. She
The
was
reception.
at the party. She was at the reception."
She wasn't at your wedding.
So
At least she wasn't at your wedding.
situation from the beginning, but you kept ignoring
Yeah.
the signs.
And so what happened, the real reason why I ended up saying I do and we planned this thing out in 3 weeks, honestly, because God told me, not now. And so because he wasn't totally bad. And so he said, not now. And so I called the wedding off. And so someone prophesied over us.
Them
And me
prophets.
at that particular
give me some
time.
popcorn.
At that particular time in my life, I'm like, okay, well, the woman of God has spoken. And then two separate people did. And they said, you're going to get married and bring souls to Christ. And I was like, okay, well, if it's for the Lord, I'm going to go ahead and go through with it.
But
And
God,
he
but,
said-
Well, I was
but
gonna
God
say-
said not now. Hold on. God said
I was
not
about-
now.
Come on, Terry.
Two people who really
And so,
don't know
but-
what their background was.
And
said,
he was more like, you're my wife, we getting married, I want you. Like literally the day that we met, he told me I was gonna be his wife, and I was like, oh.
But wait.
2 weeks later,
So let me say this.
2 weeks later, he was out like looking for a ring.
Okay, wait. Let's back up. Because even if the prophets did come to you to tell you this, and God told you to wait,
Hey.
God could have told you to wait. And even as a prophet,
Exactly.
I know that when I prophesy, that don't mean that
Right
means
now.
tomorrow.
Right, exactly.
That could have meant
But
that
at the same
you may
time-
marry that person,
Later on
and
down
later
the
on
line.
down the line, has
But
God
at the
told you
same
to wait.
time, I had
Right,
him
right.
pressuring me, like, we still got the date, I still didn't, and he wanted to get married, like, if it was up to him, we would have just got married, like, right that day. Come on,
Right,
we at the church
right.
anyways. let's
So you
get
just
married.
gave in.
And so I gave in, and I trusted, it's like I did not trust, and I put behind me what God had spoken to me. Like I said, that was the old me.
Right.
Right.
Because
What can
now,
you-
I know
now
he's
you don't.
Well,
so
that's the-
clearly.
that's
and so I went on to get married. And so he would ask me when I filed for the divorce. He would say, "So what you said? The prophets was lying," and I said, "No, they never lied."
It
But
was
what
just
God
the time.
said to me was true too. We got married out of season. When they said that we would get married
Right.
and
It's
bring
all about timing.
and bring souls to Christ, we could have have and probably would have done
Yeah, if
that
you
very
had.
well. But we got married, we jumped and got married so quickly.
Yeah.
When we
Right
weren't
place at the
ready
right
to
time.
be married to each other.
It's-
So,
Okay.
Right.
and so
No,
yes,
you're
it
right,
became
so-
toxic with the other women, and then I started acting a nutcase because
Well, I can
I'm a
imagine.
queen, but y'all, that peasant showed up.
But check this out. How you how you not do that?
It's
How
all
can you do
like
that in good spirit? How can you get mad and upset because you made a decision in your life? This is what trips me out about people. We make decisions and then we blame when it doesn't go right on everyone else.
I'm not blaming nobody else, but what I'm saying is because these toxic relationships can bring
You
out the
blaming
worst
him.
in you. Can
We're
bring
not working
Which
out.
is why it's not because we didn't work out, because I love my husband, and even after we got divorced, I hope one day maybe things will work out and then we'll get back together.
Right.
But that didn't happen. But he was bringing out the worst in me, which is why I had to get out of that situation. Because people can do that. You have to be careful of your surroundings and your environment, because you will find yourself doing some stuff that you would never do. Just
Okay.
because of the environment that you're in, which is why I had to leave that situation.
I think this is where the free spirit come in at me, because I do not believe that a person can make you do anything you don't want to do. Everything is a choice.
Yep.
Everything
I
is a choice.
I'm gonna say
Right,
this.
and my choice was
Spirits
being in
are
that,
real.
being in that
Spirits are real, but you don't have to get into
relationship.
them.
But when you angry,
No, you don't.
when you get angry, when somebody pushes you there and they're doing something that makes you really angry,
No, that's a
you
decision
can
for you
do.
to get angry. You don't have to get mad.
You
when
don't
somebody
have
pushes
to,
you.
but anger
Triggers.
really
People have
is.
triggers.
It really is a
People are
real
triggers.
thing,
Until we
because
learn
none
how
of
to
us
deal with
are
it.
like, I'm just always so happy and sweet, and nobody can make me upset, and nothing angers me because I make the choice to be. None of us are like.
I haven't
we've
been angry in a
all,
long time.
we've all
So
got
here's the-
in a long
so
time.
I can
You
relate.
have gotten
And
angry before.
I learned because
Exactly.
someone shared with me what I'm just sharing with everyone else. The power is ours.
Absolutely.
Power is he that is in
And
us
so
and he
my
that is in
power-
the world.
my
We
power
can't say
was-
that we
my
got it
power
and we don't
was-
have it.
My power was I
don't
walking
work like
away before I been went to jail.
Shut up. Hers is something before
Okay,
somebody
let's let our guest talk.
Oh, look,
He's been
no.
talking
So,
for a
so
minute.
one thing that I learned about toxic people or toxic situations and relationships. When we first think of toxic, the first thing that comes to mind, a negative person, somebody that's just bad, that's bad for you.
Right.
And which it is true, but there's so many more elements to being toxic. For example, you can't change anyone.
Right,
Okay.
absolutely.
You can't change anyone. So when you meet somebody and you feel like, oh, they're a good person, and you get to know them, and you feel like, there's that one thing about them that I'm not sure. But we can overlook that, you know.
I
We
can
might be able
change
to
that
overlook. I
person.
can
I
check.
can
That's
change.
not them big. That's not
Right.
them. But you have to
Right.
understand that when you're in a toxic relationship, toxic can also mean somebody that is trying to change you and make you something that you're not.
Right.
And here's the thing: anytime I
That's
get
a
into a
good
relationship
point.
with
That's very
someone,
good.
I always tell them, be yourself.
Yeah.
I want you to be yourself, even if it doesn't align with things that I want.
Right.
Because I want you to be able to communicate to me what is it. Because this is what's going to happen. Either you're going to tell me this is not going to work because I just can't. Now, and people get compromise and change confused. You know, you don't have to change when you compromise things in a relationship. You compromise. Everybody has to compromise something. You don't compromise who you are. Because the person that you are, you're going to always be that person. But it's just, it has its time when it's going to come out. And so with me, you know, I tell people up front, you know, I am career driven. I'm focused. Like, my career is number one. Anytime that I pursue, I love the idea of having a woman by my side, having a wife, kids, and things like that one day, because I want to be able to provide for them. You know, so I let it be known up front. It's a lot that comes with me. And I know for me, there's time. Now, people say you make time for what you love and who you love, and it's true. But there are circumstances when you love more than one thing.
That's right.
And like I said, I love
Figure it out.
my craft.
Your craft
Now the
is
thing
important.
about, and like here's the thing, and I'm not gonna say we have our issues. I have my issues with my girl, but at the end of the day, as long as she has an understanding and she's willing to, and here's what, don't do this just because you like me.
He's
Don't
right,
do this
that's right.
because if
That's
it
right,
bothers
that's
you,
right.
say something.
Yes.
If it bothers you, let me know, because I can let you know okay, what I can do to change it. No, I'm not gonna say, oh well, because if that part of my heart still wants you, I'm gonna find a way to make it work.
Right.
If in the little ounce that I can't find a way to make it work, then that's when that.
Right.
It's just what it is. We might have to part ways. Maybe you were here for a season. Maybe
Yeah.
you were here to make me better, or to value the time that I have with somebody, or to
Well,
see
I was
that
here to
it
help
can
you be
work,
better.
or I can hear here to help you be better, both wise. And what I have found out was, yes, we are there to compliment each, because now it's times like I didn't have nobody to tell me, other than your mama and them like that. But you don't always, I'm growing. But when you have that person that you see, here's the thing: you don't need your mama like you need a companion. You know what I'm saying? Because that's family. Like you need a companion. So when you have somebody that's a companion telling you, like, I need you, so I need you. You got to look at your schedule. You got to compensate. You doing too much or whatever. Right. And then versus you in your mind as a single person, like, but you don't understand because which somebody in the industry, in the entertainment industry, if you're not in that industry, you'll never understand
But sometimes,
what it is.
let me tell you,
People
But-
in it and they
They
don't
still don't
understand.
understand. That's
Same
true.
thing,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
someone asked me before, well, do you think you would have time for a husband?
Right. And
Would not.
but even and here's the thing, and you don't even have to be in the industry, as long as you understand that, like, because doctors, for example, I dated a nurse, a nurse. The difference between me and the nurse was that yes, she had a busy schedule, but outside of that schedule, she had nothing else but me.
Right.
Outside of my schedule, I still have everybody to give. So it was like, one thing. So back to what I was stating, like being toxic, it's more because you can't change someone. You can compliment someone, you can encourage someone, but always be who you are. If you feel that somebody is taking you to a place that you know that you're not, whether you feel like it's for temporary or anything like that, that's where you have to make the decision to say, I love this person with all my heart. I wish it could work, but that's not who I am.
So
Right.
let me
And
ask
we
you,
gotta be
so
real
on
with
that,
ourselves.
You gotta be real with
We
yourself.
gotta be real.
But I
on
think
that
a lot
note,
of
like I know
times-
what I did to leave.
Right.
So you said you got to make that decision, but when a person loves so hard, when they're like, I really want this to work, I love this person, I want to be with this person, but they're not good for me, how do they make that step to leave?
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
How?
yeah.
What would happen? Absolutely. You have
I was going to say,
But here's the thing.
okay, so wait, let me
That's
say this.
what
The one thing I was going to say, a lot of times that most people don't leave or they're staying is because it's something in them they
And
not
fear.
loving.
For me, it was
they
fear.
don't value themselves.
Self-esteem.
It's some low
Yeah.
self-esteem.
All that.
I mean, any relationship where I was in a toxic relationship, but I just stayed and I'm like, I'm just gonna chill or
Yeah.
it's gonna get better. It was because I didn't have
enough
self-esteem in myself.
to know who
That's
you
what-
are.
And I didn't feel like, sometimes I felt like I couldn't get better or, it
Without
was,
that person.
without that
I
person.
needed that person.
I needed that person.
Sense of being needy.
so once
Exactly.
you finally love who you are,
Yes.
you will
And
not
embrace
allow
yourself.
yourself to
Self-love.
be in a toxic
Did you-
relationship.
There is no
Did
room
you-
for toxicity.
Did you-
and self-love.
Right.
Was there something that, like, you can tell to our viewers, something that you did, like, was it, I looked in the mirror and I would tell myself, I love me, I'm beautiful.
No,
Like, was it,
no,
how
I'm
did you
not-
come
it
to
was
that,
not that,
how
because
did you
to
come
me-
to that point of saying, I'm done?
For me, it was, okay, actually, I was praying, honestly. It was prayer. I was not the one that was in the mirror, because at the time, thinking about one particular situation, I still had low self-esteem. I still, so what I had to do was, a situation happened, and when that situation happened, God spoke to me when the situation happened and said, I gave you what you prayed for. And when he slapped me in my face with that
Ouch.
situation,
Yes.
I
Did he
had
knock you down?
Girl,
oh,
listen.
he knocked me down. And so I had to literally, like, it was the last straw for me. That was it. And I
This is
didn't
not
leave.
funny, this is serious, we're having a
No, I didn't leave that day. I can't say like I left that day,
I
but
left
my
about 3 or 4
heart,
times.
but my
You
heart,
began to make
So-
up in
so
your mind and in
it
your
was-
heart.
I left 3 or 4
So with
times.
you,
yeah.
getting back to your question, what could he have done that would have made the relationship work? What do you feel
Well,
about
I'm not
him?
standing there. We was married about 2 days. The
Right.
week he left, I went to the press like, I'm getting a divorce. And he said, no, don't, because you made a commitment to God. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this commitment. He said, stay married 6 months. I said, okay. About a month later, I was like,
Right. But what was it
and
that?
it's not that I support divorce like
Right.
that, but this situation was not good. I knew that he was sleeping with other women. There was stuff
Okay.
going
That's
on.
your
That was
Right.
not
So,
good.
and that's what I'm saying. So,
And-
what was it that your ex-husband could have done that would have made you feel like this is going to work, or that would have made you stay?
Right,
What
because-
is it that you would have wanted him to change? Put it that way.
If I had it my way, because like you say, I'm not trying to change who you are.
Right.
I can hope and pray that you would change some
Mhm.
things, because either one or two things would have to happen in our situation. Either I'm gonna have to be okay with
Right.
my husband out here being with other women and partying
Being a
every
party,
night,
right?
or
I never had that,
I'm gonna
but-
have to leave unless he changes some things. And so, if he had said, okay, well, I'm gonna compromise. First off, we're gonna live together. I'm gonna stick to the plan,
Mhm.
and we're gonna live together. That would have been one step.
Right. Okay.
Step
so
two is you're not spending the night out. Step three, ain't no hiding phones, females calling, like that type of stuff. I'm not dealing with. I can't.
Right.
So who was
So-
he before you married him, though?
Right.
He
Was
didn't-
he that
you don't
person?
know.
That's
None of
what,
these
yes,
signs
no,
were
no,
ever
that's what.
displayed?
Remember, I said I called the wedding off.
Right.
So not only did I call the wedding off, we were literally like for 2-3 months up to the wedding.
Mhm.
We were literally like together on Sundays and like the summer holidays and my birthday.
So I guess what I'm getting at is
So
with
so
him
no.
being
So I did know. Yes,
Right.
I knew, but it was lit, and so
It
which
was
is
a-
why I'm like I'm
Right.
out.
So I-
before getting married.
I understand that you probably weren't in a space where you are now as far as with your relationship with God and with your walk with God, because if you're not a club person or that's not your lifestyle, but you're
Right.
marrying somebody that has that lifestyle, that's something that you had to analyze while you were in the process. Like, that's something that you would need him to give up in order for it to
And
work.
it wasn't.
And
No,
the reason
it
why I would
was
say
a
that,
compromise because it wasn't like I did.
Well,
I was like, no.
here's the
to
reason why I would
club.
say that.
It was just like not every day.
right? Well, here's
Like,
the
we
thing,
can't
and that's
go
the thing,
to, not every
because
day.
right. But see, number one, that's his money maker.
Unequally yoked.
Number two,
That's why it's
here's the
so
thing:
hard.
if he's not going to give that particular lifestyle
it
up,
wasn't a life
then
changer money maker.
that is, right? Because here's the thing: a party promoter, and now I know some wholesome, I know some real.
Water ain't enough.
But you know, I know some wholesome party promoters. But at the end of the day, you have to think about what comes with the territory.
Right.
And if you feel like, even sometimes, you got to think about, okay, he's a
So
party
then you
promoter.
shouldn't be married.
Yeah, you should-
if
right.
sleeping with
So,
the other woman has
and-
to come with that, you should not be married.
And that's the
Not
thing.
unless you're
It's
polygamous.
but here's the
And
thing.
then if you're
Yeah, you can
polygamous,
do it.
then your spouse more than likely is a polygamist.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're
maybe.
presenting yourself as this,
But the
Yeah.
bottom line is,
Be real.
that's a lifestyle that he wasn't willing to compromise or give up. And
Yeah.
you notice that his love for that was like, I love doing what I do, so there 9 times out of 10 this is not going to change. So I think at the time you felt like, well, now that you have a wife, it's probably going to be different.
I didn't think
You
that.
didn't think
though.
that?
No.
Because my thing is, if I go with, here's my thing. If that's just like me saying, you know, falling in love with a stripper and feeling like I can marry a stripper. Okay,
Some people
you
have
got
done
some people have done that, but that's a deal breaker. That's not gonna happen for me.
I know that's right.
You not no.
I currently know a marriage.
So, here's the thing,
I currently know
So-
a marriage of a man who married.
and that's nice. Good for him.
And they are happily
And
married.
that's him. And here's the thing. He's able to handle that. I can't handle that. So I know my strengths and
I mean,
weaknesses.
she's not
So
stripping
I
her
know
work,
if I said, you know what? If I know that I could probably marry someone who used to strip.
Yeah,
So
she-
they might-
Now,
you might be
because
working
I can feel
on
because I
intuition.
know that she's not a part of that lifestyle no more. But what I won't do is to say, okay, we're gonna figure this marriage out with you being a stripper, because I automatically know going in that this is a part of her life that she enjoys. And this is something that may mean
Maybe,
something
maybe
to her.
not.
Maybe not, but 9 times out of 10,
Mom,
you know, most of us
that's
do what
where
they have to do.
conversation comes-
That's
that's
right.
where
But you have to have that conversation.
That's where you
have
come
to have
like,
that
girl,
conversation.
Do you really
like,
like
and you
being
now,
up on that pole in
now,
the strip
and then of
club?
course, while we
Or can I
dating,
meet you in
it
that
ain't gonna be
house?
none of that either. Because like I said, I'm
But you
territorial.
won't have a
So
you won't have a pole in your house.
I might have a pole in your house for me,
Right.
but you're not gonna have a pole in your house you're not gonna be practicing for, because if, like I said, if you still working as a strip, that's a deal breaker for me because I know I can't handle it.
But that's
And the odds of me trying, and that's for me. So for you, if you know that, if you knew that him being a club promoter was like, that's not
is
for
okay,
me.
but it wasn't him promoting his parties every night.
Well, you know
And so
the territory
that
that comes
wasn't
with that is what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying again, the sleeping with other women
All right,
does not
y'all.
have to come.
It doesn't have to, but it's a part
But
of
he
the
allowed
territory.
it.
I am
But he
tired and
allowed
it's time to go to bed.
Y'all have totally
Yeah, I'm
exhausted me
Yeah, I'm sleeping.
with
Yeah,
y'all
sleeping.
toxic relationship.
I'm exhausted thinking about it.
Right, Julia, that was a lot. That was a whole lot.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
So how do you get rid of toxic people, things, and how do you get rid of it?
Conversation is the first thing for me. Like you have to have a conversation because you have to see where this
That don't
person's
get rid
head.
of. You can
It
talk
don't get
about
rid.
it.
No, but see, here's the thing.
Okay, so
You
we're going
have-
to revisit this topic.
Well, we will.
You're all going
We
to
will.
bed.
We're going to
Maria,
bed.
we thank you for
Y'all
coming
have
to our
a
little
good
summer party.
Anytime, I'm coming back.
I would
Okay.
love to have heard your voice live, Gloria. Can we get a little something?
See, you trying to get me. Y'all trying to get me. You know what?
Come on, sing out.
I got you. I'm gonna do a little bit of the little song that you know.
Okay.
I can make you love me,
Yes.
so I guess I'll move on. I guess I'll move on. All right, y'all.
Thank you for joining in my PJs. See you next week, Monday, 9 p.m.
We're laughing and talking, the popcorn is popping, yeah.